Here's all you need to know.
If you're like me and you're lamenting the fact that movies no longer feel like the center of mainstream culture, you're probably grateful for exciting performers like Emma Stone, who keeps us on our toes by redefining stardom on her own terms. Screen acting is kind of like professional sports. It's always evolving and it rewards reinvention. To endure in such a competitive climate, you need dimensions to your game. Even Dwayne Johnson just announced a new prestige biopic is in the works with Benny Safdie. When Black Adam is sprawling for the life raft, you know there's trouble in town.
It's like new ownership coming in, buying an NFL team and going, all right, not my head coach, not my quarterback.
That's why I find Emma Stone to be such a rare breed of actress, a true one of one. With so many fascinating career choices and an Oscar dub by the age of 35, Stone has managed to put together an unparalleled resume, cramming more than her generation's worth of eclectic roles under her belt, from beloved teen classics to surreal art house comedies. Her enthusiasm for increasingly challenging roles points to a genuine interest in working with fringe filmmakers who can help her to unlock undiscovered potential. Stone is the classic Hollywood dreamer. She started acting in local theaters near Scottsdale, Arizona, but moved to Los Angeles at 15. Initially met with a string of unsuccessful auditions and dead-end pilots, she'd eventually land her first film gig in Greg Mottola's 2007 smash hit Superbad, introducing her to the world as a witty and relatable teen with easygoing charm. This laid the groundwork for the supporting girl next door persona she'd flesh out in The House Bunny and The Rocker just 1 year later. As the 2000s drew to a close, her involvement in bigger productions like Zombieland grew, and her on-screen presence became more essential. It was pretty obvious at this point that Stone's reputation as a reliable supporting comedy star was gaining traction. The biggest question was, when is she going to get her own? In 2010, she beats the best of her generation for the lead role in Will Gluck's Easy A Ferris Bueller-inspired satire that announces Emma Stone as a bona fide movie star. This Scarlet Letter adaptation was the perfect runway for her unique blend of striking beauty and sharp wit that brought a down-to-earth quality to its snarky protagonist.
Will told me when I went in and met with him that he wasn't looking for someone to become Olive. He was looking for someone who was Olive.
And seemingly overnight, Stone becomes an A-list movie star, putting together a legacy-defining run with numerous highlights, including the ensemble rom-com Crazy Stupid Love, the Oscar drama The Help, and of course her 2-movie arc in the Amazing Spider-Man saga. This run officially cements her place at the summit of movie stars under 30, but as a performer driven by creative fulfillment, she wanted some work that allowed her to explore different shades of the persona we knew. Instead of going down a predictable path, in 2014 she channels the experience from a small indie dramedy she made 5 years prior called Paperman, a movie that was disliked by critics, but its small budget and scale allowed for her to collaborate through experimentation. She'd go on to call it one of the great experiences of her life. Turns out, that was a good move. The gear switch allowed her to explore new frontiers in Alejandro Inarritu's Birdman, as the daughter of a washed-up movie star. It was an intense production that demanded a lot from her. On top of the added stress of long, unbroken takes, Stone was challenged by her character as a recovering drug addict. Her commitment paid off majorly with a portrayal that feels more raw than what we were used to seeing her in.
For me, it's a very, very different thing, and I didn't know that I was scared to really go there, but I was, and Alejandro sort of terrified me, and then breaking through it, it was the most rewarding work I've ever gotten to do.
That was enough to get her first Oscar nomination in 2015. Filmmakers can unlock something in an actor, where it seems like all their future choices are directly informed by that experience. After working with Inarritu, it was like a light switched on for Emma Stone. But that's not to say she was finished with commercial movies. Just 2 years later, she'd win the Oscar in Damien Chazelle's La La Land. It was widely understood to be the performance of a lifetime, in a role that most musical theater kids dream about. It's been a career full of twists and turns, yet her most exciting revelation didn't come until 2019, after crossing paths with a filmmaker who saw something in her that nobody else could. Yorgos Lanthimos shows us in The Favorite his talent for extracting the most batshit performances from the best actors alive.
Kiss me properly first.
The funhouse mirror distortion of 18th century England helped us see Emma's real knack for abstract work.
And we, for 3 weeks, just acted like human noodles and crawled all over the floor and embarrassed ourselves completely in front of each other. And by the end, felt really, really safe and comfortable with each other. So it was kind of an amazing process. As nuts as it felt in the moment, we were also really learning to rely on each other as a team.
After a quick stretch doing some commercial ventures, last year presented the insane doubleheader of Poor Things and The Curse, which Stone also executive produces alongside Nathan Fielder and Benny Safdie. Much like her work in The Favorite, this mind-bending dark comedy series weaponizes the quirky charisma she's now famous for as Whitney, a flat-out terrible person whose abhorrent tendencies make for one of the most unsympathetic personalities she's ever embodied. Meanwhile, a second Oscar might be in place for Stone in the wake of her Golden Globe-winning performance in Poor Things, which reunites her with Yorgos Lanthimos in a gonzo fantasy that's been described as Bizarro Barbie. This latest run, capped with an acclaimed oddball performance from Stone, solidifies her greatest legacy as a performer who goes where the inspiration finds her.
You don't always get to make choices as an actor of who you get to work with and what roles you get to play. And so I'm trying to just follow that instinct, whether it comes to a filmmaker or a story.
All this to say, she's come a long way since Jules of Superbad fame. It's been almost 18 years, yet still she finds new ways to surprise fans who can't help but admire the bravery of her work, which is always impressive without feeling overly strategized. Well-rounded but never typecast and in control over the shape of her own mythology, Emma Stone is a natural-born trailblazer, one that's bridging the gap between the A-list and the avant-garde. As awards season unfolds, her fullest expression is only now becoming realized. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more movie-related news, discussion, and insight.